I've defended both Aurora and Cinderella, so I may as well try to defend the first Disney princess and one of my favorites. Whenever I see this movie playing on the ABC Family Channel, I will drop everything and just watch because this movie fills me with so much joy. This was actually called uh, Walt Disney's Folly or something like that. People didn't think it would do as well. People didn't think animation would get that much money or garner that much attention. And of course, he proved everybody wrong. And he even got 8 little awards for it. Anyway, Snow White is a 14-year-old girl in unimaginable circumstances. Again, I apologize for my rapid way of speaking. She is forced into physical labor. She is forced to dress in rags. And despite her constant abuse by the evil queen, she puts on a smile, she sings, and hopes for happier days. This might sound like being a little girly girl, but in my opinion, I think that's real strength. The emotional strength, the mental strength to go through every day with a smile on your face and hoping for a better tomorrow, despite every circumstance saying it won't happen. That's kind of amazing for a child. And the happiest she's ever been is when this handsome stranger comes up to her and tries to sing with her. She's startled, understandably, but I think any young girl at that age would swoon over a handsome stranger wanting to sing with them. I think that's pretty cute. I think it's pretty average. And when she gets scared in the woods, again, she's 14 years old. A man just tried to kill her. The same man told her that her stepmother wants her dead. It's amazing she doesn't break down and cry for longer than she already does. She manages to pull through and make some animal friends. And she bosses them around. She gives them instructions. She's not afraid of the animals. Even though she's been, kind of locked up in a way in a castle most of her life, she isn't afraid of the animals. She isn't afraid of the little men that suddenly pop up. And speaking of them, before she realizes she's about to be babysitter to a whole bunch of adults, she sees them as children. And almost automatically she thinks, I'll be their mother. That kind of care and love automatically is something we rarely see. She is so kind and so nurturing, she doesn't even give it a passing thought. I will take care of these children. I will help them. Maybe because she didn't really have a mother figure or even a father figure for most of her life. She's there and wanting to help others. That is kind of amazing. And when she does realize that they're men, she's okay with that. She doesn't feel threatened. And that she still wants to help them. And she still asks for their help. She has every reason to be scared. She has every reason to think they could hurt her again, like the hunter nearly did. But instead, she asks for their help and gets it because she's that sweet. And she even offers to do the household chores, and they accept it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a housewife. There's nothing wrong with wanting a mom. There's nothing wrong with a woman taking care of the chores if that's what she wants to do. That's the important thing. She wanted to do these things. This wasn't forced upon her. She willingly and happily chose to cook and clean. That's something about feminism people easily forget or dismiss. It's not just about equality. It's about allowing women to have their choices and not be shamed for it. And she still extends her kindness when the old hag arrives at the door. And I think she should be given some amount of forgiveness for welcoming a stranger in her house and eating a stranger's food. Because again, she's 14, she's sheltered, and she's pretty much looking for kindness anywhere she can see it because of her past abuse. Everything she's done can't be forgiven that easily. I realize she's capable of mistakes. I realize there are some dumb things she did. I'm just asking for a wider look, I suppose, and for the context to be given deeper thought. Because, in all honesty, how many adults could survive the situations she did and come out still smiling? Ultimately, yes, she did need to be rescued by a prince. But the prince has been searching for her all this time because of her singing and because of her kindness. She's the one that lured him in the beginning, even though it was accidental. And in the beginning, she didn't tell him to go away. She didn't hit him or reject him. She merely hid. And then she smiled at him, which made him go after her. So because she offered that to him, that's what drove him back to her, if that makes sense. It's still a shallow romance, but given the limit of the animation of that time and the time period, I think that can also be excused. He was going to have a larger role, but back then, his kind of face was very difficult to animate, which is disappointing. And there are those who say that getting married at that young age is incredibly creepy, but there's no simple guarantee that they got automatically married. What happens in the end is he picks her up and they ride away to his castle. For all we know, they could have lived together for years before proposal, before anything. And I think that about sums it up. Because people don't know when they don't give her a chance. This has been my defense of Snow White, and I'm hoping I changed some mind. It's okay if I didn't, because no matter what anyone says, I'm still going to love her. I hold places in my heart for all princesses. They all have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, no matter what anyone thinks. And that's what the beauty of an opinion is.